Hi guys, welcome to another video. We just finished the most important week, so we have to ape in direct what is gonna be this week gonna be bringing us, because we did finish on a long leg doji, what they usually are. So let's ape into that and find out what we can expect coming this week. So we get into it. This is what our candles look like. We have a gravestone doji, we have a long leg doji, then we have a dragonfly doji. We ideally look like that we are somewhere in a long leg doji. What they exactly mean here is long leg doji candles are deemed to be most significant when they occur during a strong uptrend or downtrend. The long leg doji suggests that the force of supply and demand are nearing equilibrium and that a trend reversal may occur. So there is a high chance that we might consolidate a bit here or probably dump pretty hard again to these levels of 42,000, because we never turned this into a very good support. We had a bullish engulfing week and that just brought us directly into our resistance. We did try to go above, we failed strongly, and now we can see since the morning, since the candle started for this week, we have been having a very strong pullback. Even if we look at that into a cipher, we can see the cipher is suggesting us that we can highly have a high chance that we will come back into the regions of 44,300, 44,000, 43,000. This is going to be the next range we have to really look out for, and there is a very high chance that we will come back into these levels, which is a good sign and bad sign as well, because we do expect us to come back into these channels. So we need to have some kind of volume bringing us back down to these levels as well. We can already see we have red candles on the volume. People are taking profits, people are feeling a bit bearish, but usually we do see that very commonly on Mondays, so that we have to be very cautious about that as well. So let's get into the other news as well. What is happening on our crypto bubbles? Bubbles also look pretty dark today. Everything is pretty red. That's the reason I'm wearing a red shirt. Bearish day, bearish shirt. And now if we get into these charts, we can see that we only have GLMR 20% up. We have Cello about 13.7% up. We have Waves that's up about 19.1%. Overall, if we look at all the other coins, Rose is still doing all right, about 5.2%. But otherwise, Mina, ADA usually pumps when everything is pretty sideways or in a correction. That's when ADA likes to go up. But overall, all the major coins, AVAX, AR, Luna, Rune, we can clearly see a lot of coins are in a very strong pullback right now. So there's not much action going on here for us. Now we get into our greed and fear index. We can see that we are still at normal levels. We're still trading around at 52. Yesterday we were at 48. So we did rise up to the equation and we did come back to 50 levels, which makes us back into 52. Overall, sentiments do look pretty neutral right now. Even if we look into global data, we can clearly see we are at 52%. Even Stevens here on global data long and short ratio. If we look into long and short ratio, block trades, pretty even Stevens here as well, though we saw that the other day we were quite bearish here and we saw some results of that coming as well. If we now get into popular coins, we can see that the market sentiments are pretty neutral, except for ZIL. ZIL was pumping pretty hard, really need that pullback to be coming in it. So it is in sentiments on sell. Otherwise, if we look at funding rates, look all right. If we look at long and short ratio in BTC and ETH, look pretty even Stevens. Not much action going on here that we have to take certain position that we'll be like, okay, market is too bearish, we want to be bearish as well. So overall, everything here looks pretty good, pretty neat. Nothing seriously that I'm going to be worried about. Just wait for this pullback. If this pullback is happening right now, be patient, watch out for it, and hopefully good things will be coming for us. Now we get right back into our charts and see what is happening on the 4 hours. We really need to know what is going to be for us in store for this week, because we've already seen that there's a long leg doji candle for us in store. We are right now testing that 4-hour trend line. We did try to bring above the resistance line. We failed to do that on several occasions now. So we need to be very careful and just monitor before getting into any kind of trades. Even if we get into market ciphers, right now is in a short position. MACD also is in a short position. RSI is kind of coming down, but if we look into the market divergence, we can clearly see some kind of divergence here and here as well. But overall, it still looks okay. It's not so bad that for us to become very bearish yet. Just have to wait. Maybe in the next 24 hours, we're going to have a more clearer picture. But we do know there's going to be a massive Bitcoin conference coming as well. Now we get into ETH. We can see that ETH has been pretty consolidative, looked a lot better overall in chart perspective than BTC. And even if you want to see the locations here, everything looks very good, looks very clean. Still, we really need a retest of the key zone, so we can ideally come back down here. Even the cipher is showing us that we could come back down to the levels of $3,420. Though my key zone line is at 3,346, anything is possible there. Just have to be very, very cautious, very, very secure, not aim into things just like that. Just monitor the markets. That is always the best sign. Now we get into AXS. We had a clear breakout here on AXS. We did want it to take trades above when it breaks out. It did break above, but it was just pretty small cents. So it was not worth the trade. And also the cipher started making this green dot. Usually when the dot comes, that means this is the top, and now we're going to be having some kind of pullback. We indeed had a pullback, and now we're back into my box. The box looks all right. We have had it here, but right now we're still in a higher low position and not lower low position, so we can still feel like we're still pretty bullish right now and nothing to really worry about it. Even I pull out the 4-hour trend line, still pretty good. Trend line brings us somewhere around $59-$60. Looks all right. Cypher is still suggesting that we can rise back into the occasion, and nothing to be really worried about here either. Just have to monitor, just watch out for any kind of big fart coming in the market. Now we get into AR. AR also did wick above, went all the way to 41.75 cents. Looks pretty good. Not much difference here. This was a few cents difference here, so we are still in a very good position. For our long trend looks very good. And even if you look into the situation in ciphers, it still suggests that we are in a bearish pullback right now, coming back pretty fast, but the volume of dump is not as bad as we had here, so still that's all right. Monday's market need to have some kind of flush, and we have been seeing a pretty much sideways and not a very good market since the whole weekend started. So overall this looks very good for us. Just have to monitor and be patient as well here. Now we get into Solana. Solana also looks pretty good, looks all right, nothing to worry about. I'm expecting Solana to probably come back somewhere into these regions because it does need a retest of our weekly downtrend line that we break out from. Overall, we have gone all the way to $143. That is a good sign. Our resistance is coming at $157. So we just have to wait for that resistance to come in. Overall, volume is pretty good, so we don't have to become very bearish yet in Solana, and hasn't dumped as much as some other coins. Then if we get into Atom, Atom also looks very good. We were discussing for the past few days that Atom is gonna go to $33. Did go there, wick exactly above there, and just went above a few cents, and now it's been consolidating, bringing back the market down. Needs some kind of healthy correction as well. So it did do what we exactly wanted it to do. Now I can also expect it to remain in somewhere in these regions. If it does come down a bit lower too, it possibly can, because it still looks very good. The higher low is still very good. Looks everything is intact. So just have to wait and be patient in Atom as well. Now we get into AVAX. We can see AVAX had to hold this line very cautiously, which is just around at 95.63. We have gone below that line, and we did wick above this resistance at $103, but now we are coming back, having a very strong pullback. Volume is certainly lacking, especially the bullish volume is lacking in AVAX. For the past few days, we really had big bullish volume to come back in AVAX to have a clear breakout of this resistance. If we do break above this resistance, that is a very good sign. Until then, we just have to monitor the markets. Overall, the weekly uptrend is very good. Even if we see the 4-hour uptrend, we're still in a higher low positions, so still very bullish. Overall, all the market is pulling back right now, so that's all right. We can even expect AVAX to be doing that. For me, the main concern obviously has to be the long leg doji candle we've already formed, how that's gonna react. Now we get into Luna. Luna is just the man of the moment. You can't stop Luna from doing whatever the Luna wants to do. Went all the way to 118.09 cents. Looks amazing. Every other day we just get higher and higher, $2 to $3, $4, $5 above the previous high. So looks okay. Slowly with small momentum, it's just been heading upwards. Even if you want to connect the dots and see how far can our uptrend line take us in 4-hourly, we can still, if we want, we can dump down to $106. Will be all right. We would ideally need another good retest, a healthy retest, but then we would also be making some kind of a head and shoulders. So we don't want to do that. Probably we want to just head above from here right again and try to break above the $118, and probably then we can consider ourselves being more bullish. Previously our line was here, so we took some trades from here from $111 all the way to $118. I hope that trade brought a lot of profits for you, especially on this good upside. Overall, if we look at the other factors in the market, everybody's in a strong pullback right now. Pretty disappointing situation in Rune especially. So if we get into Rune, we can clearly see Rune is coming back to test 10.492, which is its last resistance line that is supposed to come now and become into support. So ideally it's coming back to retest that, and now it's also testing its 4-hourly uptrend line. So either it's gonna break out or gonna break down. If you look into the volume looks very bad. Even if you want to look into the cipher situation, shorts have been opened from all the way from 2nd April, and it's just been coming down. Momentum is pretty down right now. RSI is coming down pretty strong, but we can clearly see a massive divergence coming we are in a strong uptrend, while the divergence is showing us on our side that we are in a downtrend, and the lines aren't completely meeting, because we can see that overall even our MACD shows us that a lot of short positions are open right now in the market. So that is something we have to really watch out for and be very careful. Hopefully we're going to have some kind of volume coming in here and probably see a good blast off coming into the situations. Overall, if we look into the stocks, we can see stocks are pumping, even commodities are pumping. Like I always say, the first 70 to 90 days of every year, we are in a correlation with stocks and commodities. We have broken away right now. We are in a pullback, while we can see that the commodities and stock market is pumping, which is a very good sign for us, that now we can see that BTC has finally broken out of that trend that it has and follows all the stocks and commodities. So that is something that is a plus sign for us today. Now we get into Gate.io startup. Adaswap is going to be coming anytime. We have about 17 hours going. So if you haven't participated yet, this is your time to get into Adaswap. I'm 110% sure this coin is going to be massive, because it's Adaswap is building gamified decks for Cardano network. That itself is massive news, because we know Snoop Dogg has also signed up with Adas NFTs. So soon there's going to be big hype coming around Cardano as well. Cardano is pumping right now too. So that is a good sign for us right now. So if you do want to get into Adaswap, all you have to do is click in the link given in the description below, join Gate.io, use my referral link. You're also going to earn some rewards, airdrops, and I'm sure you're going to really like that. So now if we get into our news, there's a lot of news for us today. News has a lot of stuff going on. We have COVID, we have war things also coming right now in the markets. So we can see China sends a military doctors to Shanghai to test 26 million residents for COVID. I think this is going to be the biggest military test that I've seen in my life. Then we have EU must discuss import ban on Russian gas deliveries, German defense. So there's still a lot of war fought as well here. New packages, new sanctions coming in. China to confiscate 39 Evergrande buildings. Evergrande part actually brought us down back in November and December. So good to see that something is getting taken away from them, not just the market dumping. Then German retail chains including Aldi, Edeka, Globus to increase price on meat, eggs, butter by 20 to 50% from Monday. That is a huge increase, especially on food. And then we can also see Turkey's annual inflation soars to 61.1% in March, highest since 2002. That is another massive news. French Macron says wants fresh sanctions against Russia. So very soon we're going to be seeing sanctions coming in against Russia. A lot of news about that right now, and probably that's going to be happening sometime in Wednesday. And then we can see that oil has climbed back above 105 as West prepares new sanctions against Russia. Same thing again, because we know Wednesday is going to be a something good for crypto and probably something bad for gas, commodities, and tech stocks. That's all for today's video, guys. I hope you liked today's video. If you do, smash the like button, share your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That's what keeps me motivated, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.